Hey there, I'm Sal. Thanks for checking out the video. Earlier in the week, my truck started having a really rough idle and kind of stumbling on acceleration. Then I got the check engine light and I was able to confirm that it was a misfire on cylinder 8. So I've actually already had this happen in my truck before, so I kind of knew what probably was going wrong with it. So I bought some new parts. Should be a really easy fix, but just kind of expensive. So let's get into it. Okay, I do a lot of talk in this video, so up front I want to do the down and dirty. You run the codes in your truck, you see you have misfire on one of your cylinders, what do you do? So in my case it was code P0308, meaning that I have a misfire on cylinder 8. The fact that it's isolated to one single cylinder leads me to think that it's probably a bad coil pack, and the way to confirm that would be swapping the coil pack with a different cylinder's coil pack, and then letting the engine run and seeing if the misfire moves to that other cylinder. So in this case, you now see P0304 for a misfire on cylinder 4. Swapping the coil packs around is really easy. There's just an electrical connector that you can pop out up top, and then a 10mm bolt that will release it from the engine block. If you're getting a code for a random misfire, or if moving the coil pack around didn't solve the misfire issue on that cylinder, then you might have something bigger going on. This is just my experience with moving the coil pack over and the misfire following it. Okay, so like I said, I got the check engine light earlier in the week on Monday, but actually going back like a month or two, the truck's been getting really bad gas mileage. So generally I would be getting 15-ish around the city and then 16 to 17 on the highway, like a strictly highway drive. But in the last month or two, I've been getting like between 13 and 14 in the city and then like 15-ish on the highway. So I thought maybe I was just driving it harder than usual or something. I didn't really think too much about it, but it was something I recognized. And then this happened on Monday with the misfire and the check engine light and stuff. And I was like, I wonder if that's related at all. But yeah, as far as the misfire, I started the truck up in the morning because it was cold out, let it warm up, and then went inside and I kind of heard like a thudding, coming out of the exhaust, and I was like, that sounds kind of funky. And then I came out and it was really, really obvious, like a pop every once in a while. It just sounded like a misfire. And then once I got it driving, it was really, really lurchy at idle. And then on acceleration from idle, it was really bad too. It was your typical misfire. Yeah, it was just a little funky, and then I got the check engine light, and I have a code reader that I bought. I would recommend having one, they're really nice to have. I didn't have to bring it to an auto parts store or whatever, and I was able to plug in and see that it was I think it's 0308, so it was a misfire on cylinder 8. Fortunately, I have my Nissan that I was able to drive for the last couple of days while this was down waiting for parts, but now they're in, and I need to use the truck again, so let's get it fixed up. Okay, so now I'm sure you're wondering, if it's only misfiring on one cylinder, why do I have 7 coil packs and all 8 new spark plugs? And it's because, like I mentioned, this actually has happened to me before. It happened around 2 years ago. I was on a long road trip, gave it a lot of gas, and the truck started misfiring. So I replaced that one coil with a DENSO coil, and then haven't had any issues since. But my thought process is I'd rather just do all of them, just kind of ball out and get 7 new ones to match the 8th one that's already in the truck, and then instead of having to replace them over the next couple years as they start to go bad, just have all new ones, start fresh, and then while I'm at it, throw some new spark plugs in there. So that's kind of my mindset. You might be wondering, like, holy crap, that's a lot of money, and it is. If you go to your auto parts store like Advance or O'Reilly's or AutoZone or whatever, these run you like $90+ each, which is insane. If you go on Amazon, they have it for like 45 bucks, but I don't always trust Amazon for like OEM stuff. So it's there, I'll have it linked, but like, I don't know. What I ended up going with was Rock Auto, and these were 54 bucks each. So it ended up coming out to around $400 with tax and shipping and stuff. It hurts a little bit, but what's cool about my position now is with the YouTube channel, you know, I'm making money and I'm able to put that back into my car and truck. So that's kind of my justification, I guess, is I'm taking the YouTube money, putting it back into the truck, getting it all, you know, running tip-top shape. So yeah, we'll go take the old ones out, compare them to what the new ones look like, and then get the spark plugs changed out. Okay, working the coil packs out. It's just 10 mil that holds it in. And I should mention, I didn't mention this before, but if you're unsure if it's the coil pack that's causing the problem, what you can do is actually just move the coil pack to a different cylinder and then let the truck run. And if the misfire moves to that cylinder, then you know that it's the coil pack is the problem. So really I should be doing that, but I don't know. I have a really good feeling that the coil packs are the problem. It might come back to bite me if they're not the problem, but this is kind of what I'm going with here. Next, we'll take out the spark plugs with the fancy spark plug socket. It just has the magnet at the end so it can pull it out. Okay, so we got all the spark plugs and coil packs out. It goes 1, 3, 5, 7. This is the front of the truck, and then 2, 4, 6, 8. So this is the one that was giving us the misfire. You can see there's like a little crack down along it. But honestly, other than that, it doesn't look especially bad. There's this guy over here who I honestly thought that this was cylinder 8, but this is cylinder 7. And it's just like a lot dirtier than the other ones. Like just the boot is like a lot more brown. So I thought this was going to be the problem, but it actually isn't. And then this guy over here, cylinder 5, I guess, has a big crack down along it. So I think it's good that I'm replacing these. I don't know. The spark plugs all look pretty good. Nothing crazy going on. Cylinder 8, hopefully you can see this. There's a little bit of like chipping, or I don't really know what the correct term would be, but down at the tip there. So I don't know, a little bit of evidence of the misfire potentially. But you can see this is the one that I had installed previously. It's nice, shiny, new. And it weirdly doesn't say DENSO on it. I thought it would, but I specifically remember buying the DENSO one because I feel like there's a couple items that you should buy OEM on cars. A lot of the stuff you can get like aftermarket stuff, but like a mass airflow sensor, you really want to get OEM. Coil packs, you really want to get OEM for the longevity. On these trucks, you really want to get OEM ball joints. There's just like little things, and coil packs is one of the things, in my opinion, that you should really get OEM, or at least OE, like the original equipment manufacturer, which is DENSO for these trucks. So I'm just kind of going, you can feel the crush washer like crushing, and then it gets really tight all of a sudden, which means it's bottomed out. So that's kind of what I'm going to. I think generally the rule of thumb is like 2/3 of a turn after you get it hand tight. So that's kind of the baseline I'm going for. Okay, first start. Okay, cool. It's been a few days and the truck's running great. I solved the problem and I've had no issues. I actually did like a 6-hour road trip a couple days ago and truck ran awesome. I was kind of hoping that changing on the coil packs and spark plugs would, unleash this, newfound power in the engine, but of course that didn't happen. But what I did notice is actually driving on the highway at like 65 or 70, the RPMs are at like 1800, 1900 RPM, and when you like tip into the throttle to pass someone or speed up, it used to it wouldn't like bog down, but it wasn't exactly smooth. And now that it's got all new coil packs and spark plugs, it definitely feels smoother. I wouldn't say it has more torque, but the torque delivery down in those really low RPMs is a little bit better. So kind of cool. I don't know if it's worth the $400+ to change it all, but it's a nice little bonus side effect, and I'm still really happy with it. So yeah, all the things that I used today are linked in the description below. But other than that, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Have a great rest of your day.